to scene 2. This scene can be divided into three parts. In the first part, Shylock's servant, Lancelot Gobbo, is debating with himself as to whether leave Shylock's service and join Bassanio's service. Then, seeing his blind father, he cracks some jokes with him. And then, in the second part, Lancelot Gobbo and his father, old Gobbo, meet Bassanio and they request Bassanio to give job to Lancelot Gobbo. Then in the third part, Gratiano meets Bassanio and he requests Bassanio to grant him the permission to go to Belmont with him. So now we shall see the scene in detail. The scene takes place in Venice, in a street. So enter Lancelot. Lancelot is speaking with himself, okay, and he is saying, indeed my conscience will not prevent me from running away from this Jew who is his master, but the devil is tempting him to run away from this master. He is saying, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobbo, good Lancelot or good Gobbo, use your legs, make a start and run away. But his conscience is saying, no, take care, honest Lancelot, take care, honest Gobbo. Scorn the idea of running away. So he is debating with himself. Devil is saying to run away, but his conscience is saying, you are an honest man's son or rather an honest woman's son. So give up the idea of running away. You must be loyal to your master. So this goes on for some time, and after that he comes to a decision that he will obey the advice of the devil, that is to run away from the Jew. Then after this, old Gobbo, that is father of Lancelot Gobbo, enters the scene with a basket. Old Gobbo enters with a basket. We shall see later what is inside the basket. So Gobbo comes and asks Lancelot whether he can show him the way to the big Jew's house. So Lancelot says aside that he is the father who gave birth to me. So he is half blind, more than half blind, he is stone blind, and he shall try to jest with him. Then old Gobbo again asks Lancelot, gentlemen, I beg of you, please show me the way to big Jew's fort. Then Lancelot tells the way, that is a very complicated way, that turn to your right at the next turning, but at the next turning of all, on your left by Mary, Italy, at the very next turning, turn to neither hand, but turn down indirectly to the Jew's house. So as we find it complicated, even old Gobbo finds it complicated, and therefore he asks Lancelot whether his servant, Lancelot Gobbo, who is a servant of Shylock, does he live with him? Is he doing the job there, or is he there or not? So then Lancelot tells aside, now see, how shall I bring tears to his eyes? And Lancelot asks Gobbo, are you talking of Master Lancelot? Then Gobbo tells, do not call him a master, because he is a poor man's son. But his father, although the statement is coming from himself, his father is a honest, though exceedingly poor man, but who can do well off. Then Lancelot again asks, are we talking about Master Lancelot? Gobbo tells yes. And then Lancelot tells that it's better not to talk of Master Lancelot, because according to fate or destiny or such things, or the three sisters of the Greek, we shall see them later, who are they? Or to say in a plain language, Lancelot Gobbo is dead, or to say in plain language, he has gone to heaven. So now who are the three sisters of the Greek? The three sisters of Greek are Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. So these are the three sisters of fate or destinies. Then of course Gobbo's heart sunk by listening to that, and he tells he was the prop of his very old age. Then Lancelot Lancelot asks, does he look like a staff or a prop? Then Gogo says, alas, I do not know you, gentlemen, but I pray God that he may give you peace. Then Lancelot asks, Father, do you not recognize me? Then Gogo says, alas, I am half blind, therefore I do not know you. And Lancelot says that even if you were not half blind, even your eyes were okay, then even you would have problem in recognizing me. But the truth cannot be long hidden. So therefore, the truth will come at the end. The truth will come out. Then Gogo says, surely you may not be my son." Then Lancelot says that now we shall end all this jesting. So give me your blessings, father. Then still Gogo is not able to believe that the man whom he is talking to is his son Lancelot. So therefore Lancelot takes his mother name, that is Margery. In Venetian language it is Margery. It's a Venetian version of Margaret. So at that time Gogo comes to know that the person he is talking to is none other than his son Lancelot Gogo. Then Gogo feels Lancelot's face, and as he is half blind he cannot see, so he touches his face with his hand, and he tells, what a beard you have. And he also compares his beard to their shaft horse. The name of the horse is Dobbin, and he also tells that you have more hair on your face than our shaft horse has on his tail. Then Lancelot tells that if it is so, then I think Dobbin's tail is growing less, because when Lancelot last saw it, it had more hair on its tail. Then Gogo tells Lancelot, you have significantly changed how you and your master get on together. And also Gogo says that he has brought Shylock a present, and Lancelot asks Lancelot, is he agreeing to give that present to his master? Lancelot tells, we are doing well together, but he has made up his mind to run away, and he will not rest till he has covered some distance. And he also adds that his master is truly a Jill, and Gogo talks about giving him a present. So Lancelot says, give him a present. I think you have to give him a rope to hang himself. And he also says that he is always hungry in his service. So this is also the one reason why Lancelot does not like Shylock. And and anybody could count his ribs with the help of their fingers. So he has become so lean in Shylock's service. So and then what to do about the present which Gogo has brought? So Lancelot tells that you can give that present to someone who will give his servants fine new uniforms, that is none other than Bassanio. And he also tells his father about his wish to give up Shylock's service and to take up Bassanio's service. So next, after this, we find Bassanio with Leonardo and other followers enter the scene. Bassanio and Leonardo is Bassanio's servant, and other followers of him enter to the scene. Bassanio is talking to Leonardo and his followers to make ready for the dinner which is being hosted by Bassanio for Antonio. And then he also orders them to give new uniforms to the servants. And then after here they meet Lancelot and Gogo, and both of them they are hesitating to tell Bassanio that Lancelot want to take up his service. So both are pushing one another to bring the matter. Then Bassanio tells that I am not understanding anything, what are you speaking? So let anyone speak. Then Lancelot tells that he wants to take up Bassanio's service, and there Bassanio grants it, agrees to it if Shylock is ready for it. So then he also tells that Shylock had recommended Lancelot this very day. Then but Bassanio also adds that you would happily join my service if it were to it were good to leave a rich Jew's service and join up a service of a poor man, that is none other than Bassanio. Then Lancelot quotes a old proverb, that is, "You have the grace of God, sir, and he has enough." That is nothing but Shylock has more of wealth, but Bassanio has God's blessing. Then after this, Bassanio tells to his followers who are present there to give a new uniform to Lancelot, and then after this, Lancelot is happy as he has joined Bassanio's service, and then he looks at his farm, and then he is just looking at his farm and analyzing his fortune. That is, he says, "Here is my lifeline, here is my marriage line." Then looking at his farm, he tells that he is going to have 15 wives, 11 widows and 9 maidens, and then he is going to escape from drowning 3 times and be in a danger of falling over the side of a feather bed. Then after this, Lancelot and old Gobbo go out. Then there is Bassanio. Bassanio is telling Leonardo to make the arrangements quickly, because this is a feast to his most valued friend. Then Leonardo tells that he shall make his best efforts. So then after this, Gratiano enters. Gratiano asks Leonardo, "Where is your master?" Then Leonardo tells he is walking there, and after this Leonardo goes out. Now there is a conversation between Gratiano and Bassanio. So both of them greet each other, and then Gratiano tells Bassanio, "I have a request for you." Then Bassanio tells that he already grants it. Then Gratiano tells that, "You must not refuse me, I want to go with you to Belmont." Then Bassanio tells, "Well, I have already granted it, but listen Gratiano, you are too wild, rough in manner and loud of voice." So these points, these characteristics seem good in the eyes of friends, but to the place where they are going, the people might misunderstand this attitude, and it may even turn to a misfortune to Bassanio. So therefore he asks him to cool his spirits, then infuse a calm and modest temper, otherwise his hopes might be shattered to the place where they are going. So Gratiano assures him of good conduct there, that he will put a quiet dress, then talk with great politeness, then he will swear only occasionally, then he will carry a prayer book in his pocket, and he will look quite of mood. Then that's it. Then Bassanio tells, "Well, you are promising so much, we shall see your behavior." But Gratiano says that, "You should not judge me depending upon my behavior tonight in the feast." Then Bassanio says it would be pity to do that. So you can assume your fullest mood in the feast tonight, and you can enjoy to the utmost. So then Bassanio tells that, "I have some work, so I am going." Then Gratiano also tells that he is going to join Lorenzo and others, and they shall meet at the supper time. So this is the end of Act 2, Scene 2.